Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. How are you guys tonight? So, I just realized I hadn't moved my light, so give me just a second. I'm going to move that out of the way so you guys won't have to look at that all in the bright area. And I'm definitely crooked. Hey, Diana. How are you? Okay, I don't know why the color looks off. Oh, there we go. Much, much better. Okay. Oh, yay. All right. So anybody who's there want to say hi so I can make sure I can see the comments. Tonight we're going to color this little girl. She's really small, but she's the freebie, the free digital stamp, and you can make her bigger if you want, but she needs to be this size in order to fit on the box we're gonna make tonight. Hi Dale. Anyway, I also have some of these pre-made from our stencil that we're gonna use tonight. It'll fit in with everything, so I'm kind of excited about that. Hang on one second. My phone is like, I am squishing something incorrectly and it keeps flashing up something on the screen. All right, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, the box that we're gonna make tonight, I wish I had the sample, but I sent it home with my grandson, so I can't really show you, but it's a box that will hold ATC cards. So 2.5 by 3.5, and we've made them before. They're about that big, and it'll fit a bunch of them in depending on how much dimension you put on your ATCs, but it could be a way of storing them, which I think is really helpful. And then you can also put anything else you want inside the box. So we're going to color her up real quick, and then we're going to make the box. I don't think it's going to take very long to color her because, again, I printed her like at 2.5, so she's super tiny. But I won't have any problems like coloring her. I think we'll be good. So I already chose the colors to speed it up a little bit. And for her skin, I have E000, E00, E11, 13, 15, and R21 for her cheeks. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. In a little bit, I'm going to reveal to you what the clay piece that I was cutting the other day that everybody was trying to guess what it was. I will show that to you, but I want to wait until there's a few more people here who were answering the questions as well on what it was. And then I'll post a picture of it probably online as well. But it will give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what's to come. So just saying, if you're paying attention, you will catch on to that. So hopefully everyone is still here and all is good. I know tonight isn't usually a big night for everybody to be online until a little bit later, but we're going to go ahead and get her colored up real quick. So I'm using E15 as my base coat, and I'm doing it under the bangs on her hair and inside her ear. She's a super cute little girl. She's one of the first ones I ever drew. I just modified her a bit from what she was before, but she's kind of dear to my heart because she's one of the first people I actually drew. So, hey Meg, hey Cheryl. Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to get here. I was saying just a little bit ago that we're gonna color her real quick, and then we're gonna make a box tonight. And I'm also gonna reveal to you what it was that I was cutting in clay here, and just as soon as I finish coloring her, I will show you what the clay pieces were that everyone was trying to guess what it was. It is kind of like a sneak peek. It's going to give you an idea of potentially what you might be seeing in the next release. So it is a bit more of a sneak peek than I normally do because it'll give you a real good idea, but hey, I'm excited and I know you'll be excited, so we'll do it anyway. This little image is free. It's a free digital stamp in our shop, so if you want it, all you got to do is go out there and download it. There's no like shipping charges or anything like that, but you do have to put it in a cart and then check out with 0 balance, just because that's how the system generates the email to send the image to you. So if you want her, you can go and get her. The ice cream pup is still out there as well, so if you missed that one last month, you can still pick it up. We're using E11 now. I put the cheek color on there. I knew it was darker, so I put it before the second to the last color, just because I knew I was using a darker color and I didn't want it to be too dark on her face. Nope, no one has guessed it right. You can still guess if you want, but nobody got it. I think everybody was going Halloween-ish, and our release is not going to be Halloween. Oh, I'm a little off camera there. It's not going to be Halloween specific. You know, we don't have a lot of stamps in the shop yet. We're just trying to build up a good inventory of them. So, we didn't really want to do Halloween specific, because then it's only, people only buy it a certain time of the year, and we need to have more general in the shop right now. But we'll get on the bandwagon of doing holiday-ish and stuff like that, like, pretty soon. But for now, look at how cute she is. She's so cute. She's gonna color up super fast. Again, what I said earlier was she is, she's only 2.5 by 3.5, so she's only 2.5 inches tall by about, you know, 1.5 inches wide. So she's pretty little, but that's okay. I mean, I didn't really pick her hair color yet, but I think we're gonna do it black and purple. So I'm gonna put a little bit of black in there, and then I'm going to move it into more purple. So I think we'll start with C9, and then we'll just get lighter and lighter with purple. It'll almost look like she got her hair dyed, but it's growing out back into black. Meaning the ends of her hair will get lighter as we go along. So, yeah, there's that. She's so cute. She's so cute. So I'm going to put a little bit up here where she has it behind her ears. There'll be a little bit of shadow there. And then I'm just going to touch a few of these little areas right here in the front for her bangs with a little bit of that black. But then we're going to move on to purple. So we're going to do our outfit in purple and blue so it matches the paper that we want to put on the box. Hey, Mom. So now I'll move into V17. I'm just going to keep going as though I were using the same color, even though I'm not. I had a black base in there. But I wanted it to look different than her outfit, so that is why I added the black to the hair, just to give it a little bit of a different look. I don't want her hair to look exactly the same as her outfit. Hey, Pam, you did? Thank you. Hey, you're going to like it tonight. We're building a box, and I will give you the dimensions and all of that stuff. So we're going to do that here in just a few minutes. And so if you want to learn how to make the box, stick around, or you can watch the replay on YouTube. After we finish the live, I'll upload it. Look at, so cute. And then we're going to move to V15. Just add a little bit more of this color in there. I mean, I'm I'm not going all elaborate with her hair because really this is just an accent to the box. The box is really the show tonight. I just wanted something to decorate the box. So just putting in some color in this little girl. Plus we hadn't colored her and she is a free digital stamp. So I wanted you guys to see it in case you hadn't seen it. She's free, so you can download her in the shop and it'll send an email and send you the file with her in it, and you get her in both directions and with the white fill just like all the other images in the shop. I'm going to use the same blue that I'm going to use for her outfit in her eyes just because I'm trying to stick with few markers. So this is BG49. I'm just going to put it on top of her eyes. And then I'm going to use BG15 to do the bottom. So we're just keeping her colored super simple. See, look how cute her little eyes are. Now we're going to do her outfit. She's going to have more blue in her outfit than purple because her hair is purple. So let's go ahead and work on this dress. So I'm going to do the little stripes here on her sleeves in purple. And then we're going to work on her leggings. We're going to do them every other color. So purple at the top, and then we'll work our way down every other one. And I want to kind of stick with that same, like every other one pattern. So I'm going to start at the toes here with the purple and work my way up. That way I won't end up with the wrong one purple. It's just, I know that I want her toes to be in those colors that way. So, oh look, it did work out perfectly. You just never know how people draw them if they leave you enough space for, if you start at the top of both, will they end at the right place? You just never know. So I couldn't remember if I paid attention to that when I drew it or not. But evidently I did. So I'm going to put this B15 in here. She's so tiny, she doesn't need a whole lot of color. Just going to do, I'm going to do one more color on her leggings, but not on her sleeves. Just to keep them lighter than the rest. So if you were coloring it and you didn't want to color these teeny tiny little spaces, you could just do them in one color or just one marker per stripe. She would look really cute as a little Christmas girl too, because you could make her outfit in red and green and do her in a little Christmas outfit. She'll be really cute. You love her hair? Thank you. I had her hair... I've had her hair different before too, but I changed it up because I thought it would be really cute. I hadn't had any images that had hair quite like that before. Okay, so we're mixing this together, just kind of blending. Don't blend too much. You don't want it to run into your other stripes. Just a little bit here and a little bit there. And a teeny bit on the toes. All right, look at us. We're going to town here. Those are our three purples. Now we're going to do it with this bright blue. It is BG09, BG49, and BG15. This matches the pattern paper that I'm going to use. That's why I chose these colors. So I'm just trying to make sure that she'll match the paper when I build the box. So the box will be, it's easier than you think. The hard part is figuring out sizes. When you know how to make a box, the hardest part is figuring out what size you want that box to be. Just going to add just a little bit of waist here for her so she kind of has a little curvy waist. That's why I'm doing these triangles right here, is just to give her a little bit of a waist. She could be a cute angel, and it would be very easy if you have like a dragonfly stamp set or a butterfly stamp set. If you stamp just the wings behind her, that would be really cool. All you would have to do, since she's a digital stamp, all you would have to do is print out the digital stamp and put a mask over it, and then stamp the butterfly or the whatever, and it'll put the wings out there for you. And or if you have some kind of angel wings, you could do it that way too. We're going to do the stripes in her leggings this color as well, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. Whole time we have the marker out. Yeah, she's very sweet and would be a very sweet little angel. Definitely good for Christmas. And like I said, she's little, but you can make her much bigger because she's digital, so you can make her as big as you want. Or if you wanted a little choir of angels, you could do several of them together, because you'll get the white fill image as well, which means you can kind of overlap them and it works. Have you ever done a witch image? I have not, but it is on my list. I did not. We had a witch image, but that wasn't mine. Hello, Paige. Welcome, welcome. So, no, I haven't, but it's on my list of stuff. In fact, I kind of wanted to do it for a Halloween release, but then we decided not to go with holiday release yet until we have more images in stock. You guys understand that, I'm sure. But all she needs is a little hat, and she could be a little witch too. She just needs a cute little hat. A little witchy hat. We're going to do her leggings real quick. I did a mermaid, but when I started doing all of the images, we already had a witch, so. But I really want to do it. She'll be cute though. She won't be scary. Okay, the last color I have here is BG15. So the top of her dress is going to be darker. The bottom of her dress is going to be lighter. It's almost going to look a little bit ombre just because I'm only using 3 colors for this combination. So I don't have a lot of the color down here at the bottom. So it'll probably be a little bit lighter down here. So this isn't real elaborate coloring tonight. This is just simple, quick, because I'm really going to spend time making the box. And I just wanted this to put on the box. So I'm almost done with it, which means you guys get to see what the reveal of the little sample of clay I put on the website here in just a minute, because as soon as she's done, I'm gonna pull that shaker mix. I do have another one. It won't give away everything, but it will give you an idea of potential theme. There she is. So cute, huh? That was super easy and really fast. And if we didn't have to have so many for skin tone, we only used this many markers tonight. So that was not bad for a whole image. Don't forget, she's the freebie online. So if you want her, you can go grab her and she's free. Okay, I'm opening this shake. Are you guys ready? Because I'm only going to show it for a short period of time. I mean, long enough you'll be able to see it, but I'm not going to leave it up there all night. Here we go. You ready? This is what I was cutting. Clay cats. Look, isn't it cute? It's like, it looks a little bit like a Hello Kitty, but I'm not drawing Hello Kitty because, you know, you can't do that. It's copyrighted. But isn't it cute? It's so cute. Anyway, that was what those clay strips were that I was cutting up. And all you could see was the side where the whiskers, or on one side you could see the bow. And that's what it was. So are you guys excited that you would have never guessed that? I thought it would be a difficult one, but I was kind of hoping that the bow hint might have been a hint. But so yeah, if that gives you any idea of, you know, maybe a theme or something that we might be looking at, that will be very exciting. The new release is next week, not this Friday, but next Friday. Really excited about it. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a box, and it is going to be big enough to hold ATC cards. So it's similar to this box that I showed you guys the other night that I made for the Bible cards. So it's like this. This is for all the cards I made for our Bible study class. It's going to be similar to this, but I changed the size to be ATC size so you guys would have a better use for the box, you know, because it'll fit ATCs and such. So I'm going to use this paper, which is why we chose this outfit. It matches. I'm very excited about that. I also think it matches with these words that I had already made, so we're going to use them as well. So in order to make this box, you have to start out an ATC box, yes. And I know in this box that I fit 27 times 2, 54 ATC size cards with no embellishments on them. So you should be able to fit quite a few in here when you make this. Now, hopefully I'm out far enough that you guys can see what I'm doing. The first thing you do is you take your 8.5 by 11, any piece of solid colored cardstock that you want. And I know no one likes these sizes, but you have to do it this size to make it work. So you're going to cut it on the long side at 8 and 11/16. You don't have to write it down. I'm going to show you the written down one in just a minute. So on your little measures here, the real tiny marks are the 16ths. So we just need 11 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in between 5/8 and 6/8, right there. That's how far we're going to go with our paper. And we're going to trim it there. Okay, and then we're going to flip it around and we're going to cut it at 5 3/4. So if you're just watching, I am going to give you the sizes. Like, I have them all written out. I will give them to you. I will put it on the screen so you can take a picture if you want as soon as we get it made. So when you do this one at 5 3/4, it leaves you with this piece right here, which just happens to be big enough for the next cut. So the other cut that you need is 2 3/4 wide. So that is almost exactly what this piece of paper is, by 7 inches. So we'll put this up to 7 and we'll trim it off. So you have a little bit of excess paper here that you're not going to need. And these are the only 2 pieces of paper you need to make this box, other than pattern paper. So that's kind of cool, right? So we're going to set those aside and we're going to cut the pattern paper before I switch to the scoreboard, okay? So the pattern paper that we're going to need and we are going to cut this particular pattern paper. So I'm going to try to use scraps if I can make it work, but I'm not exactly sure if I have enough scraps in the pattern that I want. So like this is a really cute pattern. I like that, and I like these. Oh yeah, I got plenty of this. Okay, we're good. All right, so I need 3 1/4. So I'm just gonna measure that to 3 1/4. And I need 2 of those. So I'm gonna cut 2 of them at 3 1/4. And then I need those to be by 2 1/2. So I guess I probably could have used the same piece of paper, but whatever. You never know. 2 1/2 and 2 1/2. So yeah, I could have used the same scrap, but whatever. Okay, so I only need 2 of these. All right, so we can use whatever side we want. And then I need, oh good, I need another one at 3 1/4, which I already cut. And then I'm going to turn that one around, and I'm going to cut it at 1 1/4. And I need 2 of those. Wait, I need it to be a directional one. So we're going to have to cut a different piece of paper. So let's do this one at 3 1/4. I didn't think about that until just now, that there is some directional on this. So you are going to have to be a little bit careful on what you cut. But I can tell you that as well. Just hang tight and I'll tell you. So I knew when I did this that it's going to go on the side of the box like this. So I knew I wanted it to go the right way like this. So I just went ahead and did this one in solid. It'll match, all of it will match, so we're good. So I need another one at 1 1/4. So now we have 2 of those, 2 of these, 2 of these. And then we need to cut at 2 1/2, which I think is this piece of paper already. So that's good. I like it when the paper's already almost there. And then we have to cut that by 1 1/4. So look, we're going this way again. And we only need 1 of these. And then we also need one at 1 5/8. So that is the medium notch right after the 1/2 inch. You'll learn your scoreboard if you watch that very carefully. We need 1 of each of these, and that's it. So you could probably use scraps when you're making it, because you really only need something that is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. That is the biggest you need. So you can totally use scraps. You don't have to use a full piece of paper of anything. So that's going to be the decorative pattern pieces. It's not that many. We have 2 here at 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. We have 2 here at 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then we have 1 at 2 1/2 by 1 1/4, and we have 1 at 2 1/2 by 1 5/8. So this one's just a little bit bigger than that one, and you'll see why in a few minutes. That's all the pattern paper that we need. Now, let's go back to these 2 pieces of paper that we cut in the beginning, because we have to score them now. So I hope this doesn't mess up my screen again like it did last time, but we're going to try to put this on here without messing up our... Okay, this is the large piece that we cut down to 8 11/16 by 5 3/4. Remember? We did that at the beginning. On the long side, when I say on the long side, it means lay the longest side against the top of the scoreboard, okay? And then you're going to score this long side at 3 5/8. So this is your 3. And you just count each one of these notches. They're the 8s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the notch right after 3 1/2. And then we have to score again at 5 1/8. So the little notch right after 5. Okay? Then we're going to turn this around. Now we have the short end up here at the numbers. We're going to score this one at 1 1/2. So right here. And then we're going to score it at 4 1/4 right here. So that is all you need right there. Okay. Now you're going to take this smaller piece that we cut and you're going to put the long side again at the top. Okay. And you're going to score at 3 5/8. So we did this once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The notch right after 3 1/2. And then 4 1/4. No. Sorry. 5 1/8. Right there. So it's exactly the same scores as the larger piece. See how they line up? It's the same score lines for that one. That's it. After that, you're done with the cutting and scoring. It doesn't take a lot. It's just very, very small pieces. So you guys aren't distracted. This is where you will, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see them. This is where you can take a snap of this if you want. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see it. You can start off with 2 8.5 by 11 cardstock solids if you don't cut it right. But if you cut it like I told you, you only need 1. You're going to cut one of them to 8 11/16 and one of them to 7 2 3/4. And then here's where I say on this big piece, you're going to score on the long side at this, score on the short side at this. And then on this piece of paper, on the long side, score at that. And then cut your pattern paper, this size, 2 of them, this size, 2 of them, this size 1, and this size 1. That's all you need. Okay? So that's all of your measurements. Now I'm going to show you how to put it together. It is so easy. You will be surprised at how easy this is. In fact, this live is going to be going by way faster than I thought it was. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut here and here and here and here. Okay. So that is cutting here and here and here and here. So I'm going to grab my scissors. I like to use my big scissors when I do this so I get one clean cut. And I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to cut on this side. And then if you're like me and you don't like any excess like hanging off or whatever, it sometimes folds a little better if you cut a bit of an angle off. You know, not a lot, just a teeny, teeny bit. It just helps the whole thing fold better. You don't have to do this, but I like to do it. So I do it with all projects that I do just because I don't like it when I have little extras hanging off the edge, which you can cut after you put it together, but I just like to do it now. And you won't see these, so it's fine. We're not going to do any more cuts. That's it. Super easy. All right, now we're going to score on all the score lines. So I'm just going to start folding them all in towards themselves. So I'm just going to burnish the edges. So there's one there. Then I'm going to flip this one. I'm going to score this. And then I'm going to fold that one over. And I'm going to burnish that. Open it up. Again, all the folds are going towards the inside, as you can see. It's just that you can fold them all at the same time if you just flip it over. Okay, so all these score lines are done. And we're going to do the score lines on this one. And we're going to just fold them all in towards themselves as well. So this one, and open it up and fold this one. Okay. Now, time to assemble. That's it. That was the hardest part. So what we're going to do is, when I do flaps like this, if you put them on the inside, then when you slide cards in, they can get stuck on this. So instead of putting them completely on the inside, I like to put them in between the layers. So I put it like this. So it's on the outside, nothing on the inside. And then this one will go over top of it and you will not see it. And it won't stop your cards from sliding in. So that's the way I like to do it. You can adhere them however you want. But in order to do that, I have to put glue on the inside. And I'm going to put it on both of these little flaps right here. Oh, I probably should have put the pattern paper on before I did that, but that's okay. I can do it. I can do it. You just want to make sure that this stays flush here and that it sits flat on the table, you know, so you don't get it all wonky. But this glue dries pretty fast. I don't have anything hanging over the edges, and it's standing up very nicely. Pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some of these on now before I get too far into it, just so we can see. This is the side that's going to fold over. So this is what's going to be on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these on the outside right now. So I'm going to leave them as the purple pattern. Like this, and I'm going to place this one here, and I know I have purple paper, purple on purple, but you know, I like purple so much it doesn't really matter to me how much purple is in it. Next one. Goes on the other side. Okay. Now, we're getting there. All right, we're going to need, let's see, I don't think we put any more on here, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these flaps so we can lay them flat. I like to get really close to the edge so I get a good seal, and then the rest of it I don't really care as long as I get it on there. And I want to make sure that I keep it flush, you know, with the bottom for sure. So slide together there. There we go. So I like to lay it down, and sometimes I use my bone folder. I don't know where it is right now, so I'm just going to use my ruler. But I just take my ruler and press it in there. You can do that with your bone folder or whatever you have. And we're going to do the other side. Remember, just close around the edges. And then the rest of it doesn't really matter, just as long as you get some glue on there. Fold that over. Make sure it stays flush with the bottom, so you'll want to stand it up when you hold it to make sure that you get a really good mold there. Then I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to use my ruler again and just press that together so I get a really good hold. And now we have the base of the box. So there we go. We're getting there. Okay. I'm going to take a 1-inch punch. So this is my best friend here. Every time I make boxes and stuff, I always put like a little cut in it so you can pull the cards out like this. See? If I wanted, I could have put pattern paper here. I'd want to put that before I punched it out. But I'm not going to put any on here because we're going to put the girl on there. So I just kind of eyeball it. You want it in the center. So you want about the same amount on both sides. I think that's pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that. And then put your punch in there halfway and there you go. Now you have the opening right there. Okay, this piece right here, This is the only tricky part. You have to trim the edge of this just ever so slightly. Not very much, just a teeny bit. Just a teeny bit right along that edge. Once you have that done, I like to round the corners, you know, but that's up to you. You don't have to. I just like to round the corners when I'm doing a box like this. Oops. Slipping out of my hand, slippery little sucker. And then we're going to take these. Oh, I did do one for the front, but I did it in the wrong direction. So we just won't use it. But that's what the other piece of paper is for. Well, this one's going to go the wrong way too, but oh well. It doesn't matter. It can be vines going this way. We're going to put this on top. Or you could do it this way. You know, whatever works for you. Whatever you think you want to do. Maybe we will add that piece of paper. We'll just add it differently this time. Here we go. We're going to center this on the back. I always like to leave a border, so all my measurements and all my different things will always have a border around the edge because that's just what I like. If you want, you can always measure it and cut it yourself if you want it to be bigger or smaller. Completely up to you, but you get to decide. The little thin one is the one that goes on the top of the box. So this particular one right here is, let me put a little star by it. It's this one. So if you wanted to make that a white piece of paper and label what ATCs you have in the box, you can do that. So that is this little size. And this is pretty solid color, so I could still write on there if I wanted to. You know, and you could store them on their sides where you could see the label of what ATC you participated in, that you collected all of the cards from, like whatever the theme was, or, you know, whatever you want to do with your box. It's up to you. And then this last piece goes here. Again, you can do it in whatever color you want. So at the bottom, I have to round the corners on this so it'll fit, but just on two sides. See how it fits so much better when you round the corners? Oh, I think maybe I'll put it on there like that. I kind of like that. So let's do that. We're just going to mix it all up. We know all this paper matches because it came in the same set. So it doesn't matter which one I use. They'll all match. So just kind of mix it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and put this one on there. I really don't like to punch this one after I've already put the other one on. So what I'm going to do is hold it in place, and I'm just going to cut. Just going to trim this. I'm going to line it up. And then I'm just going to trim it. So now it'll fit on there perfectly, just like that. So we'll go ahead and put this on here. I wasn't going to, but I changed my mind. And you could always cut different paper if you changed your mind after you got done as well. If you wanted it to go in a different direction, you could cut another piece of scrap and put it on there. But you know this exactly where this goes because it fits right with that, right with the half circle here. So I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to stick my hand in there and just kind of press that down so the glue sticks really good. The back, this is going to go on the back of the box. Just like that. And it's going to fit, if you cut it that size that I gave you, it will fit exactly on the back of the box with no excess on either side. So I'm just going to go real close to the edges. You could put it inside the box. Like you could You could put it inside here if you wanted, but I like having more space, so I'm putting mine on the outside. But you do have that option of putting it on the inside. I like to fold the score line over the top just to make sure that I don't leave any extras at the top of the box, and then I get it down all the way to the base. See how it fits on there just perfectly? I'm gonna stick my hand in here, press this down, make sure I get a really good seal on that. If I really feel like it, I can use my ruler again just to make sure I get a really good fold on that. And then because we trimmed this just a teeny bit, it's going to fold right inside the box like that. Look at that. Perfect box. Then we get to decorate it with our little girl. I think she's so cute. And our words. So we could put, like, maybe this was the Create ATC card set or whatever, or we can put them here. So when the box is sitting upright, I think I'll put them on the sides. But you can put it wherever you want. I'll put this one on this side that says Create. And this stencil works great for that because it has so many sentiments that work good for it, like happy and create and inspire and love. It kind of fits with all of them. So if you haven't seen those stencils, it's a 2-layered stencil. That's how we got the matting and the regular coloring. And then I'm going to put inspire on this side. And then I'll put love on the front with her because it's just, I just love her. Inspire fits on this side. And I'm going to put my hand in the box and press that down. Then I'm going to put the love on here. I'll probably just put it sideways like this so you can see it all. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe I like it that way. Okay. And you can put like any other kind of decorations or whatever you want on it. Whatever works for you. You get to decorate it however you want. You could make it, I mean, I bet there's a ton of things you could put in here. I bet gift cards would fit in there. Yep. See? A little bit short, but yeah. You can mix them in there. Lots and lots of stuff you could do with these size boxes. But this one is the one that I made the matching card game for my grandson and fit all of those inside the box, and he took it home. He liked it so much. He was so happy. His little game. So there we go. And we close it up. And now we have this cute box. So cute, right? If you wanted to, you could put, you know, magnets, and you could stick it on the outside if you wanted it to be a box that closed like this. But I thought it was just easier to slide the lid in there. That's why I trimmed it a little bit. When the cards are in there, it sits better. Like right now, it just kind of dents in. But when the cards are in there, it sits perfectly nice right up against the edge of the box. So you can put bling on it. You can put whatever you want on it. I don't know. What'd you guys think? What do you think about the box? Are you guys going to try it? Going to try it? Try and make one? We got Halloween coming up. You can make Halloween boxes and give away little things in them. Kids, grandkids, whatever. Easy to make. Super easy. Yep. Easy, easy. So when I make stuff like this, I usually make it and then later I revise the instructions to be the easiest way for people to like understand and make themselves. But that's just a me thing. for the way that I teach, because I want people to like be able to make it themselves. It's important to me that you guys be able to use this stuff I teach you. Otherwise, why am I doing it, right? Just saying. Just saying. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys tonight. Yay, you'll try it. Post in the group when you do it, because we'd love to see it. And this paper that I thought was going to be a problem going sideways really isn't. I really like it, just like that. It's perfect. So I will load this up on YouTube so you guys can refer back to it if you want to at a later date, or if you get stuck, you can go back and watch the replay of it. And you can make the box yourself. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm excited that you guys will try it. It is really easy. Remember, there's only 2 cuts, both on the sides. But if you get stuck, you can watch the video or you can contact me. Don't forget, we have a new release coming, not this weekend, but next weekend. And it's a long weekend this weekend because there's a holiday on Monday. So you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I will see you on Tuesday next week at 8 p.m. Otherwise, watch YouTube, because there are a lot of videos out there. In what, Pam, say that again? Oh, you need the measurements. Okay, let's do them one more time at the end. Here we go. Ready? There's 2 sheets, so give me just a second.
I mean, if people have cutters, we can make it into SVG.
There you go. There you go. You will rewatch so you can make it. The one with the little asterisk, that's the one that goes on the top of the box. So if you want to make that a label, you can. It's this one. This is the label one. And there you go. Super easy, super simple, super quick. I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Take care. Good night.